Well, I just got done helping my uncle tear apart combine. There's a big electric clutch that engages and disengages a pulley which runs the head, and that bearing went out inside of there and got really hot and took out the seal of the bearing next to it, which it was quite hot, and he said it almost started the combine on fire, but that was the understatement of the century because there was a bunch of crispy, ashy, burnt bits all around there, so I'm guessing there was a fire. But got that all tore apart with some beating, some heating, and some cussing, but that's all tore apart. He's out getting parts, and while I'm waiting for him, still got the batwing hooked up, and we got a pasture that needs to be clipped because the burdocks are getting pretty bad, and we got a bull in here because there's some open heifers, and bulls and burdocks do not mix. But yeah, we're gonna get this done. I want to get this tractor unhooked so we can get it on the other slinger. So before I unhook the batwing back there, we gotta mow this pasture. Well, it's looking better all the time. Might have to go into the golf course maintenance. Maybe putt-putt. I can make a hell of a putt-putt course out of this. Oh, that looks a lot better. I gotta run out and get a full truck of corn. The combine's getting put back together, and we got one loaded truck out at the field. Gotta get that in, put in a holding bin, take that back out there, hopefully by the time they get the combine back, and then go over to the other farm where there's another load of corn sitting in the shed. So I guess we'll get to it. Perfect. Well, 4:30 and the old dog is headed back out to the field, hopefully for a little longer than it was last time, but it's actually surprised how much it dried up even just today. Pretty much rained for the last 5 days, so it's a little greasy out, but good enough to go anyway. Well, after putting in all the hard work and doing all the jobs that no one wants to do, I get to be a big combine driver. Unfortunately, I think that was just because this field is so grassy that no one else wants to do it, but I spent the good, probably 20 minutes already getting all the grass that was rolled up in the snapping rolls. But I think just this pass here, and after that we should be in the gold. We'll see though. It's ugly. This is, I don't know if it was a dry year or just because he sprayed it earlier than he usually does because it was a dry year, but these cornfields are grassy, really grassy. And yeah, not a fun time. So anyway, combining away. My first down and back, I didn't quite have a full hopper, but I dumped it anyway, and I was like, you know what, I probably could have got another down and back, so I tried a down, and yeah, my last 10 feet I probably lost whatever I combined in the last 10 feet. So the trip down, the trip back is enough to fill it, but the grain cart and the truck are all down on that end. So I think I'm just going to do a down and back and dump it almost full instead of this. Just drive it back empty, because that just seems silly. Not a whole lot done yet. Still a pile to go. We got over there on the other side of the road, down over the hill there, back across that hill, and then actually there's a whole other farm if you go out that road. Got a bunch of corn out there too. They're just getting started. Well, at least I know I can successfully count 6 rows and jump 6 rows over. Whoever planted this field did a bang-up job. And by bang-up job, I do mean good, because I could not see the little, where at the end of the rows, they went one way or the other. And it's really hard to drive this thing one-handed. And keep the head where it needs to be, but no, the rows at the end, they don't split off either side, so it's really hard to tell where the planter went. So kudos to the guy who planted this. He did a good job. It's me, I'm the planter guy. I planted this. Well, it's been pretty uneventful. I'd say we're about half done. I'm not real excited to go down there. Not because it's really wet, but I don't know, 4 days ago it was raining, and there was raining for 4 days before that, so sometimes you get down in little nooks like that, there's still water. There's actually a pond right in there. So I'm gonna let somebody else do that, and I imagine I won't even finish up this chunk before someone takes over for me, so I can go milk cows. They're pretty thoughtful like that. Oh well, back at her. Oh man, we are rolling now. We got her cranked forward, doing a neck braking, 3.2 miles an hour. Still getting her though. Well, another day I don't get to drive combine. Sad face. But corn in the bed is corn in the bed. And yeah, I'm currently hauling loaded trucks back to the farm, bringing them back out here. My uncle came out, picked a whole bunch last night, filled everything up. So I am hopefully gonna let either my uncle or dad haul trucks, and I'm gonna find some sort of manure spreader and either pump out of the pit or haul the stuff piled up around the buildings, or maybe dad will, and I'll just keep driving trucks. But not the biggest mood to drive a truck. I'd rather be the tractor, so hopefully see what happens. Well, joke's on me. I got back with this truck and it looks like I get to haul corn all day, but I brought the truck back and parked it on this side of the road. It was sitting over here, and I see this on the ground. Luckily it's hydraulic oil as far as I can tell. Smells like it. Guessing our hoist is leaking a little bit, which I kind of suspected, but that's a pretty good sized puddle. I don't know why we park these on gravel. Sometimes it's better just not knowing. On to the next one. Puddle under this one. Yeah, a little bit. That's fine. Got to put some oil back in the earth, right? That's how you keep it. Make sure next generation gets some. Can't use it all up. but it turns out we're gonna go run the batwing over some corn stalks. Kinda basically like use that like tillage. Our turbo till we run over for the sole purpose of just busting up corn stalks. It runs in the dirt a little bit, and usually we'll do that when we spread fertilizer, just to mix it in just lightly, just a little bit. But the farm I'm headed to now, they don't want us doing anything in the fall. They're big deer hunters. Apparently, doing tillage work. I don't know why, but they don't, so we don't. But running a batwing over it, that'll at least get all them stalks started breaking down over the winter time. And then the farm just before that one is fairly close to home, so I don't know. We're only sitting at 180 corn stalk bales right now, so we might end up baling it, might not. It'll be done if we want to later. We'll have the option. But yeah, a lot better than driving a truck. I'm okay with that. Plus, I got to stop and get some snacks. Oh, I like snacks. Well, we are back out here. We had a little bit of excitement. We caught our batwing on fire. Our slip clutch here, which you'll notice is now kind of a heat-tempered, rusty patina on it, has cooled down pretty good, but still quite warm. Discovered our bolts here that hold the slip clutch were a little loose, so once the going got good and I kicked her up a couple gears, she started slipping, and of course that creates friction, and yeah, I still don't want to hang on to that. And we had a big old fire under here. That was pretty neat. Pretty exciting. It was flames shooting out of there, so I was kicking it, and I was barely able to lift this thing. It was so hot. And then I opened that up, and the gates of hell open, and we had some good flames. And I kicked a whole bunch of stuff off, and I got to it soon enough. It didn't get too crazy, but good thing I got to it soon enough, because all this stalks are bone dry. This thing looked like this all over. It would have took about 15 more seconds to have a big raging fire, and usually when that happens you pull the pin on the equipment and just let that go so you don't lose your tractor. But this thing has this goofy hitch setup, and it's almost impossible to do it when you have two people on a skid loader, so me trying to do it by myself was not going to happen. So yeah, and I was in quite the hurry once you see open flames, so I didn't pick up the camera. But yeah, I would rather not have video of a fire than a big crispy tractor. Although if that tractor burnt down, then I could get a Magnum. No, that's not the way we do things. That's bad. Don't commit insurance fraud. But anyway, I got tools and stuff because I noticed my breather on top over there is missing, so it's interesting. But got this one I borrowed just to make sure I got the right one. I got a brand new one for it, so I'm gonna throw these on and keep going. Well, we are back going. That's what I like to call a sneaky fire, because I could not smell a fire. The engine or the tractor really wasn't bogging down like a slip clutch or something was happening, which, yeah, usually if you smell fire, you kind of on alert to see something's on fire. But no, it did not stink. I had no idea. I just happened to look back and see a little orange come out and said, that's not good. And ran out there and got it put out. It took my sweatshirt over there. I needed that to beat the flames back, but that sucked, because then I got my sweatshirt full of burrs, and of course chaff and whatever was flying around, and now I'm very, very itchy. But the tractor's in one piece, the batwing is right back going, doing her thing, so Not bad. A lot better than how it could have went. Well, we got the last bit of this all done here. Thought I'd take a peek at her slip clutch, see how warm she's getting. Hopefully not at all. A little warm, as it still might be from being on fire or just normal function, but no fire starter anyway, so that's good. I actually even hit the dirt over there, so that probably gave it a pretty good workout, so I think she's good to go. So fun fact about me, my first ever job was mowing roadside for the county, and I thoroughly enjoy it. So much so, I still do it sometimes. Just a little tidbit about me. Well, we're done mowing stalks for today. It's funny, my uncle gave me a ride back here. My truck's parked up here. There's a little bump there to get out into the field here. The old square body Chevy climbed right through it. His Ford did not. I'm not saying nothing by that, I'm just saying my truck made it. His Ford did not. I said what I said. And since I said what I said, would you just look at that thing? Oh, it's just beautiful.